So if you have a cat that likes to do a lot of digging and scratching, which means your cat likes his box, try to go to a larger box, and I believe this is a 58 quart size versus a 35 quart size storage container. Another thing you want to look at if you're thinking about using a storage container as a litter box, look for storage containers that don't have a lot of indentations in them. This one just has little holes or indentations like there's feet, and so that's going to be a little bit easier to scoop. This box here that Gallo's in has a recessed ridge. I'm going to have to move you, buddy, for a minute. Here, try this one. Has a recessed edge, so it may be a little bit more difficult to scoop this box. But in the long run, because it is a good inch larger than the traditional litter box and also a little bit higher and less expensive, it's well worth the investment. So those are things to consider when you're looking at actual box size. Now, another thing to consider with litter boxes is when you look at the litter in your box, maybe the litter looks clean, but does the box look clean? And I had one of our staff people pull this, and if the litter is clean, but there's waste collected along the side, some cats will refuse to use that litter box. Now, I don't know about you, but I am not real happy about using a dirty bathroom. And we have to remember cats are self-cleaning, and so a lot of times a cat does not want to step in something that later they're going to have to clean off their feet. So it's very important, don't just look at how clean the litter is in your cat's litter box, but also consider how clean is the litter box itself, and take that into consideration. The best rule of thumb for litter boxes, again, as far as scooping, once a day. Sometimes people will contact the shelter and they'll say, oh, I'm having a litter box problem with my cat. And I'll ask them, how often are you scooping the box? Well, we scoop it maybe every other day. And truth be known, most people will not use a bathroom if the toilet isn't flushed. And the same is true with your cat. And it's also very important, make scooping easy for yourself. I'm just going to step down here and get my trusty scoop. Some of the other things that people may do, we think that, oh, well, we'll just use something like this to scoop because it's cheap, it's inexpensive, picked it up at a thrift store. Invest in the tools to make keeping your cat's litter box clean an easy thing for you. It is much easier for you to invest in the tools that you need to help keep the litter box clean, to keep you happy and your cat happy. It's a lot easier to clean the litter box than it is to clean the couch or your carpeting or maybe even the bedspread. So the whole idea is to make the bathroom or the litter box appealing to your cat. Another thing that I found really helpful when you're scooping boxes, whether you have a single cat home or a multiple cat home, is get yourself a little covered container. It can either be a covered pail, or this is a little canister type thing, and it has a flip top, and it actually, you can even leave your scoop in there. That way, anytime you walk past the litter box, you can, oh, somebody used the box, I'm going to scoop it right away, and keep that bathroom or toilet clean for your cat. Now, this is one of the boxes from here at the shelter, and when you're scooping a litter box, when you're using scoopable litter, and we're going to talk about litters, sometimes it's very obvious here where some of the large clumps are, and you're going to scoop it out and you're going to shake it up a little bit, and you want to make sure that you quickly get it in there. And if you're a good scooper, at the end of the week you should be able to take your gently used litter, pour it into an ice cream pail, wash your litter box, and then put that gently used litter back in and add some fresh. Now, another way to find out where the clumps and bumps are is shake the litter box just a little bit. And it's often, now you have to remember, this litter box came from one of our galleries where there were multiple cats. And this was overnight, so we want to make sure that it's nice and clean. And the time that you take to scoop, it's oftentimes easier to scoop a litter box once or twice a day than it is to scoop a really dirty litter box every couple days. Now, to make sure that I'm getting all this, I'm going to tip it the other way. And here we can see that I have some nice clumps here. And I'm going to just scoop that all out. Now, if I hadn't moved the litter, I may have broken that clump, and I'm going to intentionally break this one. And you can see it just kind of shatters, and it makes kind of a mess. And if you're leaving this behind, to your cat, you're leaving dirt and odor behind, and your cat's not going to be happy with that. Cats like to have a clean litter box. One of the other things that I have people tell me when they scoop the litter box is they tell me, oh, I clean the litter box, and right after I'm done cleaning the litter box, my cat uses the box. That is a compliment. That means that your cat is very happy with its box and appreciates the fact that you're keeping its box clean. So now you can see we've got all the clumps out of here, and we're good to go. No pun intended there. And sometimes as humans, we have a tendency, okay, I'm done scooping this box. And then we have a tendency to, oh, let's neaten it out. Let's smooth it out. Don't do that. This is your cat's bathroom. If you find that when you have the litter box, all the litter is on one end, scoop the litter box, clean it out, and then let your cat rearrange the litter. The same is true if you're going, now you see I'm all done. I can put my scoop right in my pail, cover this up. Tonight when I come home from work, I can scoop the boxes again, and I can take my pail out to the garbage, and I don't have a lot of smell in the house because I have a clean litter box, and my cat is probably going to use this litter box because it's nice and clean. So that's one of the ways that you can scoop the box to make it a little bit easier for yourself, is by tipping the box and seeing where the clumps are. Now, one of the other things we want to look at is different types of litter. Sometimes what people do is they purchase different kinds of litter, or they just buy what's on sale. And I don't know about you, but I don't deal well with change, and cats love routine. And my rule of thumb is, if you have a litter that your cat is using, stick with it. Don't be changing every week. If you are going to change litters, let's say, for example, I'm going to borrow one of my empty boxes here. Let's say that you've been using a gravel litter. And you can see this is clean litter that we put in here, a gravel litter. And you're curious about using a scoopable litter. Don't just take your cat's litter box, throw out the gravel litter, and dump in the scoopable litter. Give your cat a choice. Think about adding a second box if you don't have one already, which you should have. But get another box and put the litter that you want your cat to try in it. And put it in right next to the other litter box, or in an area close by. And within a matter of days, your cat, depending upon which litter it prefers, is going to tell you which litter it likes by where most of the business is being done. So if you're primarily using a gravel litter and you want to switch to a scoopable litter, and what we mean by a scoopable litter, a scoopable or clumping litter is a litter, this is just water, and when your cat goes to the bathroom in it, it actually clumps so that you can easily scoop out the clumps and keep it clean. Now that doesn't happen with gravel litter. With gravel litter, if a cat uses gravel litter, it's very difficult. Nothing clumps together, so it's really hard for you to get the urine and feces clumps out of that box. And again, if you're leaving dirt and odor behind, for the cat may decide, oh, that's not clean enough and I'm not going to use it. The other thing to remember is, if your cat does have an accident outside the litter box, as human beings, what do we do when somebody has an accident? We clean it up right away. So a lot of times, if we would spend as much time cleaning the cat's litter box to ensure they use the litter box, we wouldn't have to spend any time cleaning carpeting or furniture or rugs. Now, also, if you are having a litter box issue, I would be remiss if I didn't remind people that sometimes when a cat stops using its litter box, it may not have anything to do with the litter, the box, or location at all. It has everything to do with maybe your cat has a bladder infection or a urinary tract infection. And cats do not have the ability to reason like you and I do. And if you have a bladder infection or a urine infection, it's very painful. And your cat may associate the pain of going to the bathroom with its litter box. And so it avoids the litter box and it avoids going to the bathroom. Finally, when it becomes too painful not to go to the bathroom, the cat may decide, oh, I have to go, and I'm going to go right here. And it relieves itself in the corner of the living room and or on the couch and goes, wow, that wasn't so bad. And so sometimes it is a medical problem that can cause your cat to stop using its litter box.